Here we go with a much anticipated return to the Mississippi River, the most prominent waterway in America. This Bassmaster Elite Series event at the Mississippi River presented by Go RVing in our host city, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Every time we come here, it is loaded with fish. Let's take a look at our playing field right there, the state of Wisconsin on the border with Minnesota. There we find 3 pools of the upper Mississippi River, which starts in neighboring Minnesota. We've been here 3 times before. Todd Faircloth, 2012, the winner, Tommy Biffle in 2013, Otney Foe in 2016, each of them doing something a little bit different, and in fact doing something different from most of the rest of the competitors. Who will figure it out this time? Let's take a look at our Yamaha Unlock the Lake. We're dealing, as I said, with 3 pools of the Mississippi River, and here's something else we're dealing with: rising water, not just by a few inches, but by as many as 4 to 6 feet. So settle in. It is going to be a great, great event on this tangle of ponds and lakes and canals and big giant flats, and then also going back as far into the woods as you can get with this water rising. So it's going to be a different looking Mississippi River this time. Welcome to the Toyota Bassmaster Studios. I'm Tommy Sanders here with Davey Height. And Davey, you've been here many times fishing this place. It looks a little different this time.
It looks different. It's a great fishery. All the elite anglers love to come to the Mississippi River, but it's a different puzzle each and every time you come here. This year, obviously, the rising water like we've never seen before. And there's 2 ways to approach that. The first way is to follow the water. If you're in a flat area, that can be difficult to do. The other way is get close to a steeper bank where you can fish against the edge where those fish will be congregated against.
Well, here's your leaderboard after 2 days, and there's a familiar name on top. Aaron Martins, who definitely has a history here in La Crosse, has got a single-ounce lead over Randall Tharp. The competition has been tight since the very start, and this guy who's come close here multiple times before, Aaron Martins, looking to get a good start on day number 3.
Just like to get some good ones early. It'd be awesome. It'd make life a lot easier for us today. There's some good ones here. There's one close to 5 I have not caught yet. I didn't get to move it. That's a good sign. It's a good sign, boys, girls. Moved it about 3 feet, 4 feet, and one grabbed it. Not bad. But it was a quick bite. Wow, that was good. You pray all night and hope and dream that you don't pull up on, you pull up on these spots and that you get bit immediately. Because that's a really good sign. The thing you don't want is to throw out, cast 3 or 4 times and no bite. That's a bummer. It's nice to get bit like that right away. Woo.
Well, you can see Aaron Martins' plan maybe going a little bit deeper than the rest of our competitors here on day number 3. Aaron Martins just fishing really around the corner from the launch in downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin. Let's take you to a completely different looking environment right now. Pick up the 5th-year man on the Bassmaster Elite Series from Virginia, Jacob Porosnik. 5 years and a pretty good resume to show for it. 2 Elite Series wins, and he was the Bassmaster Rookie of the Year in 2014. And having good success this week in La Crosse. Take a look at this place right here. He's back in the boonies, and this is something he figured out over the first 2 days.
Aaron, I mean, every one that blows up on my bait is just like a...
Well, it's interesting to see what Jacob's doing here. He's following this rising water. As this water rises, Aaron Martins is staying offshore, hoping those fish stay on those deep water spots, where Jacob Porosnik is moving in shallow in this vegetation along with the bass.
Welcome to the jungle. Well, see, you're getting current through everything now, you know what I'm saying? Well, you see how it's flowing down through here? Well, like we get over here, it'll kind of disperse out, that's... I'll tell you one thing, man. You look back over the last couple of years we've been here. I mean, damn, dude, it doesn't take, what, 24 pounds to make the cut, top 50 cut. This year it took 27.7. This place is on fire. They say flood hurt things. Negative. Makes them better. We just gonna move with them, There's one, baby. Well, good thing is we're not going in empty-handed. God, that was so good, wasn't it? Do you see the water come up over them reeds when he hit him?
Jacob Porosnik off to a good start, been going through some good numbers this week, almost 17 pounds on day one, 15.5 on day number 2, and in a very specific place, which looks very, very different from where we're going to take you next. Again, we got 3 pools in play here. You can choose to go from pool 8, where the launch is, all the way up into pool number 7, but you're going to have to do some locking. And Davey, that is something that you have to give up time for.
You're exactly right, Tommy. You sacrifice time, but hopefully you're going to an area that has less pressure. If everything goes on schedule with these locks and you're not giving up a lot of time, unfortunately, the schedule is not always the same. Those barges can change everything. But Gerald Spohr is giving up a little time, but boy, this area that he's moved into, a lot of fish, and he's been able to catch them on topwater frogs, mixing up with other baits. He's in a great area with limited time to fish.
Good one. Good one. Yes. Boom. Biggest fish I caught all week. This area, I've barely been fishing it, and it's because these bigger fish are in here. Today I gotta count on them because my other fish are, you know, the ones I've been beating on are kind of dispersing. So made a cast and just caught a big one. We're gonna throw in there again.
You can sense the excitement in Gerald Spohr's voice. He knows he's in a great place to do exactly what he's doing right here. The second-year man from Gonzales, Louisiana. Let's go to a veteran now. Randall Tharp, this is a spot that really paid off for him the first 2 days, but this rising water, not just inches but feet, is affecting a lot of places.
I mean, when we started practice, this right here was all dry land where we're fishing right now. I'm just kind of trying to feel around and see where they might have swam to last night.
Randall knows this place is not what it was the first 2 days, and he wastes no time, Davey. He makes a move into town.
Smart veteran move by Randall Tharp here. He knows those fish have changed. He's going to his backup plan, and it's a good one, not far from the takeoff area.
Biggin', dude, biggin'. Yes. Yes.
Randall Tharp started the day not very far back at all, and with that fish right there and that move, he's able to jump into first place ahead of Gerald Spohr. The leader, Aaron Martin's down into third place, but that leaderboard will change as we continue to go through day number 3.
The Bassmaster Elite at Mississippi River, presented by Go RVing, is brought to you by Abu Garcia, SKEETER Boats, Triton Boats, Toyota,
The Upper Mississippi Pool 7, 8, and 9 for the 6th event of 9 regular season events on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Across Wisconsin, this event presented by Go RVing. Let's take you out to the lake. And Jacob Porosnik, here's a guy who since the first day of this tournament has been in the thick of it, both in terms of the leaderboard and in terms of the vegetation. Let's watch what's going on with him.
Water's up just a little bit more, still running, you know. It's not bad. It looks good. Just need to get the right bites, that's it. Right there, baby. Please be a bass. A good one, baby. Yes, sir. How about that? You asked for a 4-pounder, and you shall get it. I used to hate throwing a frog, hated it. I was like, man, how do they do that? I see why now.
Well, I think Jacob Crosse is catching on to fishing the frog very well. The big thing that I think is he's doing that's different from a lot of these other guys, he's moving with this rising water.
Absolutely, and he's finding flowing water, going. Another guy who's found a great place to get away from the crowds by going all the way up into pool number 7 is this guy, Gerald Sporer, and it has just been a clinic on topwater fishing today with him.
Definitely a clinic, Tommy, but Gerald has got a limited amount of time fishing up in this upper pool. He has to lock back through, and the big key to being able to have a chance to win is to find an area in the pool that you have to go back to a few hours before weigh-in. And it's difficult, but it looks like Gerald Sporer is moving way down, not too far from where we've seen Jacob Crosse and a few of the other fishermen. The Goose Island area, and this area traditionally has quality fish.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It ain't over.
Gerald Sporer doing a good job there of sizing up how you work with the changes, and this is a waterway that's always changing with this rising water, and he's done it well. He's done it to perfection. Same thing for Randall Tharp. First 3.5 hours, 1 small fish, moved to this spot, caught 4 in 45 minutes.
There she is, baby. Yes! Boom! Yes! Yeah, give me some. One more bite is all we need now. That's one of the best decisions I've ever made as far as just making a call during a tournament, and it was just a gut feeling that I had this morning. When I fished that first spot, I knew in my heart, I was like, man, you're not gonna catch them down here today. And I could have scrapped out a few bites, but you know, I'm pretty sure it's done down there. Yeah, I only need one more good one.
Yes.
You gotta love to see what Randall Tharp has done today. He went to there, it's been so good for him. It is where current was hitting a hard bank. The water had came up and that hard bank was under the water and those fish had spread out, probably moving to an area like Jacob Rodden's at. He moved up close to takeoff, another hard bank, and it's paid off for him.
Yeah, paying off for Randall Tharp in terms of the lead, but look how close the competition is. Welcome back. Day 3 about to wrap up for this Bassmaster Elite at the Mississippi River, presented by Go RVing. We started the day with a tight leaderboard. That's where it is right now. Aaron Martin started the day with the lead and got some good feedback on his first fish of the day. He's doing something different. The rest of these guys following shallow water, looking for hard edges with moving water, but Aaron Martins is out here fishing deep, and since that first bite of the day, well, things have been very, very slow for Aaron Martins, and he's trying to analyze that right now.
He was kind of up on top a little more. Obviously, when you're fishing these kind of spots, you try to move around, cast different places, and you try to cover the whole thing. It's a big area. It's, you know, probably at least half size of a football field. So it's a big area. It's out to here, all the way almost to that tree, out to here. And then you got all that shallow flat up there. So I mean, it could be a little group of them that pulled up. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Come on, baby. That's a good one. That's a good one. Woo! That's why I had 4 of yesterday. Hey, let's get in there quick because it might be fired up right now. That's what we came here for. It's a 4-pounder. Woohoo! That changes things. Let's get back in there. I get a call as soon as possible. I mean, they bite, and then it could be south as soon as it starts. Green's bigger. It's kind of the last small one right there. That's good. They're all getting nicer. That's good. Woo, nothing to her.
Well, that got Aaron back into second place. He started the day an ounce ahead of Randall Tharp. And let's move over to Jacob Porosnik doing something, as we say, completely different. He's in 5th place, but that could be just a tiny upgrade away from the top spot.
Doing something different. It's hard to try to fish new water each and every day, following this high water. Instinct makes you want to go back to where you had success before, but Jacob is doing a good job moving around with this water.
Oh my God. Still, I don't know what it was. I mean, you know, they just seem to be really biting today. I don't know what that means, you know. I'd rather fish like this than any way in the world right now. I mean, it's just, I mean, you're just fishing stuff that's not supposed to be, you know, we're not supposed to be up here. Look right here in the water. Little bitty frog swimming around right there. See him right there? I mean, the frogs are out. The bass are biting. What more can you ask for? But a 5-pounder. Ooh. Watch out.
Another solid one for Jacob Porosnik. Not big enough of an upgrade to move the needle very much, but he knows he's around him, and that's very, very important going into the final day. Let's go to Randall Tharp now with 9 keepers. What a great decision to move to this spot.
Big. That's a big one. They always look bigger in the water, but today did not go according to plan at all. And I'm just thankful I made a key decision early enough in the day where I could still catch a good bag of fish. I just lost a 4-pounder in a tree that's better than the ones, some of the ones in the live well, but my cull now is at least probably a 3, and that's a good day on this river any day. You know, just we need that one kicker bite to get up there, put a little heat on OA Mart, who's right out there.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, you got to get excited, but you can't be too loud with it, because he's just right down there around the corner from Aaron Martin's. You don't want to completely blow your cover, I guess, David.
Well, you don't, and Randall did a good job making that decision this morning early enough to move and get on this good area that he's on. But unfortunately, this area that he's catching them this afternoon is just inside where Aaron Martin's is. Could be a lot of the fish that were out there offshore that Aaron Martin's caught on day 1 and day 2. But here on day 3, Randall Tharp has done a good job. He's got up close to the bank, these flooded bushes, and he's picking off some quality fish. Got to be quiet because you don't want Aaron Martins to know they have moved to the bank.
Well, another good upgrade for Randall Tharp, and he knows it. Maybe he doesn't know what's going to happen at the weigh-in. He'll take over the lead.
15 pounds, 10 ounces. With 49 pounds, 12 ounces. Randall Tharp once again moves into the lead.
Randall Tharp on top with one day, Championship Sunday left to go on his effort to win another Bassmaster Elite Series trophy. There's 1 ounce the difference between himself and Aaron Martins, and look at the top 5 right there, how close they are. We have got a bang-up Championship Sunday on the way when we come back.
The Bassmaster Elite at Mississippi River, presented by Go RVing, is brought to you by Yamaha. Berkeley. Power Pole. Humminbird.
Take a look at this spot. It's a beautiful part of the Mississippi River. If you've never been to the upper Mississippi, you owe it to yourself to come to this part of the country at some point. This is our Bassmaster Elite, presented by Go RVing, and from La Crosse, this is Championship Sunday. Look at those tight weights right there. Look at the top 5, basically within a pound of each other. Randall Tharp with the single-ounce lead over Aaron Martins, and now we got 12 anglers out there in anybody's game, I would say, Davey, at this point.
The only thing consistent about this tournament so far has been inconsistent, where these guys could go catch the fish, having to make big moves. Randall Tharp did yesterday. We saw Gerald Sporer move down to the pool that we're taking off from, catch a big fish. So it'll be interesting to see who makes that big move today, who can come out top on the day that it counts, Championship Sunday.
Well, we are in day 4. I am third. Yeah, third. Third. And we pretty much have an 8-ounce lead over us right now, which ain't a lot. First couple days, I've actually culled some 3-pounders, and then those are definitely fish that you need, and you mix in a 4 or 5-pounder with those 3-pounders, and you got the right size bag.
You know, I'm exhausted, used up a lot of my fish, and but we're gonna fish as hard as we can today and grind it out, and hopefully we'll get her done.
Here we go, 12 guys finalizing the plan for the final day. There's our launch point, Veterans Freedom Park, always the launch point here in La Crosse. And we look at those trails go, and you can see there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different places to get the job done, Davey.
Having fished the 3 previous Elite Series tournaments here, Tommy, I like all of these areas, very familiar with them. Any of them are capable of winning. It's a very tight battle. We see a couple of the anglers that chose to lock up. They're gonna lose some fishing time, but quality fish there. Randall Tharp fishing very close to takeoff. It was good to him yesterday. We see him back there today.
Yeah, absolutely. Within sight of the takeoff, and made a big move after the fishing started on day number 3 to this spot, which paid off for him big time. 4 wins with the Bassmasters for Randall Tharp. His last win was at Lake Norfork. And Bull Shoals up in Arkansas, he'd like to add a 5th trophy today.
Damn smallmouth on a frog. Now, how many times you see that? Look at that. Isn't that something? Look at there, sports fans. We got a 14-inch smallmouth. Frogfish, baby. What the? Well, there's a first for everything. I've never caught a smallmouth on a frog before. That's my favorite little frog right there, a little Terminator walking frog. You can't throw much else, there's so much stuff floating. Yeah, we may have to go back on the hot stretch with this frog. I just got a feeling. Couldn't hurt to make a few casts in there with that thing.
You got to think Randall Tharp maybe considers that smallmouth on a frog a bonus fish to start his day, but whether or not he does, he certainly, his mood has brightened up a good bit. Some good early feedback and a good early result of fish in the box, and that gives the lead to Randall Tharp, a slight lead by ounces. As we move down to Jacob Porosnik in a totally different situation, Davey, I get the feeling he hadn't fished the same area twice at all. It looks like something new every hour for him.
That's a good point, Tommy. We saw Randall Tharp make a big move. He did with his outboard. He moved back up close to takeoff. Jacob has been fishing this one general area, but the thing about Jacob Porosnik, he's been moving the whole tournament. He's moving with this water. It's very difficult to do to try to follow these fish. You want to get close to a hard edge like we've seen Randall do, and you see Aaron Martins fishing offshore, fishing certain spots, and they're going back and fishing those spots. Jacob has been moving around with the water, following his gut, following his instinct, things that he learned when he was growing up, when he was young, fishing Bugs Island and Kerr Lake.
I grew up on a lake at home, Bugs Island. It's a controlled lake. You know, a lot of times the water level is like 300, it's normal. And we fished tournaments before where it's been, you know, 310, 312. And I just kind of watch where those fish go, and they go to the highest points that they can get to, you know what I'm saying? Like on islands that are, you know, high, where it'll still be shallow. The fish want to live shallow. And I knew with the water coming up like this that they're going to move back in here, but I didn't really know what these islands looked like, you know, because you couldn't get to them. I mean, they were, you know, so shallow, but now it's, I mean, we're only, I mean, now it's almost 3 foot deep right here, you know, so these things were dry when we started practice. Another bass.
Porosnik moving up the leaderboard. He's been around him all week long. You just think he needs to get one good kicker today. Maybe that could allow him to get the job done, get a win. Meanwhile, check on Gerald Sporer. These guys are catching him. He's still waiting to go through the lock.
Morning, Lock and Dam 7. This is Jared.
Hey, Jared, this is Gerald with Bassmasters.
Yeah.
I'm out here, but I see it looks like y'all might be having some trouble. You have any idea how long or what's going on?
Yeah, so right now with the towboat, he's about to leave. He's just waiting for the northbounder to get in position so he can get by him. So as soon as this, you know, it's going to be about another 10 minutes or so, and as soon as he pulls out of here, we'll be able to take you up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. See ya.
Well, this place he's headed for has been so good to him, and he's just around the corner from it. He just can't get through the lock. Let's check in on Ish Monroe. Ish absolutely committed to frog fishing today. He's a frog guy for sure. He talks about it a lot. Started the day only 7 ounces back of the lead, but his fish, well, have turned on faster than they have for anyone else. He's got a 5-fish limit before 10 o'clock. He's upgrading now.
Ish is off to a great start this morning. He's fishing under this duckweed. More and more duckweed has moved in, and Ish told me that it was growing very rapidly while he was fishing in this area just during this tournament, and those fish are set up under the duckweed. Makes it a lot easier to pinpoint when they get set up like Ish wants.
Well, got my first coal. They're starting to set up now. We've kind of found them a little bit. You can hear them popping around. I've had 2 bites in 5 minutes. That one right there, he missed it and came back and got it. This has been a little pond I've been fishing. Duckweed's changed a lot in the areas, even in here. And got my first 2.5. Just get it going. But like I said, I'm starting to hear them popping around, and that means they're starting to feed. So there's fish in the area. I mean, literally, we've had, what, 4 bites in a matter of 15 or 20 minutes, so get it going here. Another coal. Starting to happen now, boys. Another call. Yeah.
Ish Monroe on fire on Championship Sunday. We knew coming into this day that things would be tight. They were so close, and we knew it could be volatile today, and the volatility has come in the form of Ish Monroe. Look at this lead he's opened up.
Final round competition, Championship Sunday at this Bassmaster Elite event on the Mississippi River, presented by Go RVing, La Crosse, Wisconsin, and the competition has been super tight this time around, and especially on this final day. Back in 2012, Todd Faircloth won it. He put on a superb topwater display, but with the rising water, as we take a look at our Skeeter Taste of the Bait, boy, the topwater bite has been off the chain, especially for this guy, Gerald Sporer.
Well, it's been good for everyone. Gerald's doing a great job here. The rising water, typically when the water rises like this, it's dirty, but this rising water has been clear, so the topwater bite has been awesome. These fish have been moving around a lot because of the current and just the high water. These fish want to move back into these places where that current is moving. Gerald Sporer is doing a great job on this final day, mixing it up using walking baits, frogs, buzz bait, mixing it up, and it's delightful to watch.
Definitely pull more fish in this area. I mean, because that school out there, I was catching on topwater, wasn't even there. Those fish just started showing up. I believe a lot of these fish may be getting out of here and going out there. I'm not sure. I don't think it's because I caught them all. I think it's because they were moving with that water. These bites have gotten tougher every dang day. We just need a couple big bites.
Well, after an agonizing wait to get through that lock so he could get up into pool number 7, Gerald Sporer has gone to work quickly. He's got his limit. Now he's trying to cull right now, and this place has been so productive for him. 16-7, 16-6, and 16-5. How about that for consistency over 3 days? Yeah. Like he said, I just need a couple of big ones and I can win this tournament.
We'll just have to see if the delay hurts him. These other guys are catching. We see Ish Monroe, Jacob Crosse, Randall Tharp. They're catching fish while he was sitting outside the lock waiting. He's doing good once he gets there, but then he's going to have to allow some time going back.
Yeah, it's not done. Not a done deal. Whatever happens with Gerald Sporer right there, he's got some business to take care of in order to make it to the weigh-in. Ish Monroe also had a great start to his day. Got a limit in the boat and now trying to find that big one as well.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Stay pegged. That's a good one.
Hooks are out, everything's out. What happened there? I did everything right. Had him coming. That was a 3-pounder. We talk about it all the time, frog fishing. You don't land every one. On a good day, you're 75%. On a great day, you're 80%. And I've been about 80% this week. I've had one tournament my whole entire life that I was 100%, and I completely blew that tournament out. It's just blind luck to be 100%.
That's a big one. That's a good one. Come on, stay pegged.
Yes, finally.
Well, he lost a good one there, but that is a good comeback for Ish Monroe. That's going to, in fact, put him back on top by ounces in first place, but plenty of fishing time left to go. Jacob Porosnik, his day has not gone as well as the first 3 days have. He's been catching them steady, but just hasn't had the size today, despite what he's seeing and what he's hearing.
I mean, it's kind of like, you know, when you're fishing shad or herring or whatever, you know, you're fishing, you got to follow the bait. And the bait of the week is a frog, you know. So I could hear them back here in practice, you know, sucking like they're doing right now. But the thing was, we couldn't get to them because of the water level, you know. So, and then that water's come up so much, it's got all them frogs out. So they have to get on something that they can get out of that water, you know. They come out of trees and ground. I mean, there's little bitty frogs, like tiny, but the majority they're feeding on are about that big, you know, about 2-3 inches long. And as you can tell, there's a bunch of them back here.
There he is. That's a good one, boys.
Oh, come on, get in here. There he is. Golly, did you see that thing eat that frog? Boys and girls at home, as my buddy Woo Days will say, we cooking with gas now. I mean, how many are in here? I mean, they're just everywhere. Whew. Come on, 2 more like that one. Please, today, 2 more like that one.
Jacob Porosnik now starting to climb back up the leaderboard. Can he get high enough in time? The time remaining. Meanwhile, back in town, away from the boondocks, Randall Tharp just around the corner from the launch. And a slide down the leaderboard has been the story of his championship Sunday. This place that paid off so richly for him, put him in position on day number 3. It's just not looking like what it was yesterday.
You gotta be on your best stuff when they're biting. Like, that's what separates a lot of guys, is just the timing of it all. You know, like I came down through here this morning and never had a bite. And now we're getting close to the time. Yeah. Oh, smallmouth.
Just what Randall Tharp needed right there after that slide down the leaderboard. That's going to be fish number 4.
Pound and a quarter.
Be very important for him to get a limit very soon here so he can start upgrading, ideally, and put himself, regain those 9 spots that he's fallen since the start of fishing here on Sunday.
Well, timing is everything, but current means so much, and I couldn't agree with Randall more. You've got to be in your best area when those fish do turn on, when that current gets right and the sun gets up at the right level. And obviously Randall Tharp is in the right place at the right time now.
Like it's just the timing starting to get right. You know, I can see the current moving through here now. One thing I know about these bass on this river, dude, is they live in current and they like the current. I mean, there's more current on this whole bank than there was yesterday. And I mean, we're still a little early. I'm thankful to have what I have, and you know, we're off to a start anyways.
Yes, yes. There you go after a slow, discouraging start. For Randall Tharp, he's moved halfway back up the leaderboard again, almost. He's in 6th place right now. Ish Monroe by a pound over Gerald Sporer as it stands right now, but there's still more fishing time left on Championship Sunday. We will see how it plays out when we return.
The Bassmaster Elite at Mississippi River, presented by Go RVing, is brought to you by Minn Kota, Hook, Mercury, Nitro Boats.
Get down toward the tail end of Championship Sunday. This stop on the upper Mississippi River, La Crosse, Wisconsin, presented by Go RVing. We started out with ounces separating the top 5, and anyone in the top 12 with a chance to jump up and grab the lead. We've seen a lot of volatility today. Ish Monroe took over the lead very early today. This guy who found his spot, actually getting his boat stuck in transit on day number 1. Certainly paid off for him, and he has been working that frog, Davey.
He has, and he's adjusted where he's throwing the frog each and every day. Ish loves to throw a frog. Heck, everybody that bass fishes loves to throw topwater. The old saying, I'd rather catch one on topwater than 2 or 3 on a worm, because it's so exciting to see these fish come up and explode on the topwater frog. Very interesting to see the way Ish has moved around, following these fish with the rising water. He's fishing farther back than even Jacob Brosnick has, and Jacob has been in the jungle the whole tournament, but Ish is doing a good job adjusting.
Getting there, boys and girls, we're getting there. We just need a couple big ones, like 2 4-pounders. That's another nice, close to 3, 212-ish.
That's going to be an upgrade for Ish Monroe. That's going to extend his lead. A small margin there. No way that Ish knows he's got the lead at all, because everything started so close and everyone been doing about the same through the first 3 days. Randall Tharp started this day with the lead, dropped way down the leaderboard, and now he's playing catch up and actually doing pretty well at it, all the way up to 4th.
In my entire fishing career, I've never fished a bank as much as I fished this one in the course of 2 days. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think the winning fish were here. They're here. Dude, I can tell you, dude, if we can catch a 6-pounder right now, we'd have a chance to win this thing. We're 1 bite, I mean. There's some solid fish in that box. That smallmouth's better than I thought. I've tried to cull him 3 times and he won't cull. Dude, it feels good too. That little current's coming. A lot of wood down there.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! Yeah.
Yeah, baby, that's a good one there now. That's a good one on that side. About to get rid of that smallie. Yep. Yeah. That was big right there, Eric. There ain't no more little ones in there, shooter. Yes.
Well, obviously, Randall Tharp has made the right choice, staying in that area. He said he's never fished a bank so many times. And look at this. Oh, Tommy Sanders, it doesn't get any better than that. Seeing that fish come across that log on a frog, it's just incredible to watch this footage of all these anglers. Ish Monroe, Jacob Prosnick, Randall Tharp, getting it done in different ways. We've seen Jacob Prosnick keep moving in this Goose Island area each and every day with nothing but a frog in his hand.
It's just a black frog. The reason for I need a lighter frog is, you know, we're fishing really fast, and I want it to kind of hop, not walk, you know what I'm saying? So this black's been the color, you know, some's in black and blue, black and yellow. I've caught some on like a copper color brown, but I don't really think color matters. I just think it's, you know, there's so many fish back here in these woods, and I don't think they've ever. I don't think they've ever seen a bait. Looky there. Solid one.
For Prosnick and everyone else, things just happening, popping until the very last minute. The only way to settle it was to take it back to the weigh-in.
Get loud for Jacob Prosnick. Started today with 48 pounds and an ounce. He's looking for 14 pounds and 3 ounces to take the lead. 16 pounds, 11 ounces. And with 64 pounds, 12 ounces, Prosnick is your brand new leader. Let's roll through our next angler. He is the big bass specialist, Ish Monroe. 49 pounds and 5 ounces to start the day. Looking for 15.8. 16 pounds, 2 ounces. 16.2 with 65 pounds, 7 ounces. Ishama gets it done on Championship Sunday. We got one more angler left to go. Let's roll him through. Randall Tharp left the dock with a 1 ounce lead this morning. Come on up here, Ish, get side by side. We're gonna decide our champion. 49 pounds, 12 ounces coming into today. He needs 15.12. 14 pounds, 9 ounces. And Ish Monroe becomes a 5-time Bassmaster winner. Let's make this official, ladies and gentlemen. The 2018 Mississippi River Bassmaster Elite, presented by Garcia, belongs to Ish Monroe.
Well, sometimes things have a way of working out. Ish Monroe, when this tournament started, got his boat stuck trying to get to his good spot, made him slow down and fish his way to that spot, and along the way, he actually finds a place along the way, Davey, that paid off for him, got him the win this time around. Sometimes it works out.
Sometimes it works out that way. Ish won the first Bassmaster Elite Series tournament. He's had some highs, had some lows. He's a power fisherman. He likes to flip, he likes to pitch, likes to throw a frog. And sometimes that bites you when you need to finesse fish, but he does a great job at finishing tournaments, winning tournaments, and he has done that here this week.
Absolutely. The big bass specialist didn't specialize in giants this time, but he caught enough solid ones to absolutely get the job done. So the first winner of the Bassmaster Elite Series as of this event is the most recent winner as well. Let's take a look right now at some very important stats. Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. And there we have it, Brent Chapman on top, Bradley Roy having his best season ever, Justin Lucas back on track, ditto for Aaron Martins, Bertrand Pace, and all the rest in pursuit. Now these guys going from a place they're very familiar with, Davey, this time around to someplace very different. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's take a look at Brent Chapman. He's done what you absolutely have to do if you want to hold that trophy at the end of the season. He's made every cut, first of all, and he's had some high finishes to fold into the mix there.
It's so important to be consistent in the Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Brent Chapman is a former winner of Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Being consistent means everything. After a couple subpar years, years for Brent. He's back on track to have a chance to win his second title.
All right, you got to be consistent. You may have to improvise a little bit because we're going to a place next time around, Lake Hawaii in South Dakota, where none of these guys have ever competed before.
I'm really looking forward to this tournament. Never been there before. It'll be different for all of these anglers, obviously. And surprisingly or not, a lot of these guys didn't go out and pre-fish, so they'll see it for the first time next week.
All right, we'll see you then right here on the Bassmaster Elite Series.